today I'm gonna be trying the controller settings and setups of a few different pro players. So to accomplish that, here I have the Scuff Impact, which just so happens to be one of the most popular controllers used among these pro controller players. So the first pro controller player setup that I'm gonna be trying is Scope. So for Scope settings, it's gonna be on a 2.0 build and edit, a 42 on his look sense with no look boost. For ADS sense, he's on 10 for both horizontal and vertical, getting no boost. Scoped is one of the few players that I know use a look dampening time, and he has his at 0.07 seconds. These settings are on linear, and then for left dead zone, he uses 7, and then for right stick, he uses 6. Scope has been able to accomplish a ton in Fortnite while being on controllers, so let's try these settings and see how good they are. I've tried a lot of settings, but one thing that I've never really messed with is a look dampening time. And honestly, so far, I can't even really tell what my look dampening time is doing. What a weirdo trying to break me out in 1v1s. I'm actually not struggling at all adapting to the sensitivity. I feel like my shotgun shots are still hitting pretty hard, and the overall feel of these settings are pretty solid right now. Oh my god, how much did that just hit for? These shots are hitting so hard on the sensitivity. I always say your most important sensitivity is that look sense, so you can hit shots like that while you're not actually ADS. Let's see if on this kind of one where I'm further away, if I can show off any of the ADS sense here. Oh, that was not looking very hot. Now the ADS sense is starting to come in. It just took a quick second to get used to it. I mean, there's not really much to say about these settings except for they're pretty solid. I mean, it's not really like they're anything crazy or revolutionary or anything. They're just like some pretty normal, solid settings. Got the sweat with the pickaxe on the last kill of the round. Now, I'm not sure what Scuff Impact exactly looks like, but I don't know if you noticed that I was actually using the digital tap triggers. One thing I'd be pretty curious to know is if Scope actually uses those. It basically makes it so when I click a trigger, I barely have to click it down. But those were Scope settings. The next player I'm gonna be trying is WhoFishy. For WhoFishy, we're actually not even changing him up much. We're going to a 2.3 build and edit, a 43 look sense. Again, no boost on the look sense. At ADS, we're at 12% on both horizontal and vertical with no boost. WhoFishy does not use a look dampening time, but he's still on linear, and then for his dead zone, he uses 9.9. This is tragic. It is now 2:48 a.m. and the matchmaking has officially been turned off. Well, if you're enjoying the video at this point, don't forget to drop a like on it. Of course, if you're new here, you can subscribe to the channel, and if you want to show a little extra support, you can use my code Carter2K in the Fortnite item shop. All right, so 12 hours later, I am back. And currently, I am on WhoFishy settings. And this guy left already. And I think WhoFishy is someone that kind of gets left behind in the talk of like good controller players. And that's mainly because of his lack of presence on social media. WhoFishy like rarely streams. He doesn't really post YouTube videos anymore. But in the current NA East power rankings, he's ranked like, I think like 20 something. So he's still consistently placing high in these tournaments. Like I said, mainly because he literally just doesn't post anything. Like, people don't really think about how good he actually is on controller at this game. And on his Scuff Impact, he actually only uses 2 paddles. Scoped was actually only using 1. On this far left paddle, Scope had jump. But WhoFishy is using left paddle on jump and right paddle on switch mode. WhoFishy's settings definitely feel a bit faster, but they definitely don't feel like uncontrollable. Like, they still feel fine. WhoFishy uses a touchpad edit, but he does not actually play full claw. What he actually does is keep his right finger right here, and to click touchpad, he's actually doing it using like the top of the touchpad. So like, as you can see, I'm still clicking my touchpad here, but it's not the traditional way you would click your touchpad like with your thumb here. You're literally clicking the touchpad like by the top of the controller. Dead. And so that's something that I never actually realized. When you see pro controller players and you see that they edit with touchpad, but they don't play claw, they're not clicking touchpad with their thumb. They're actually clicking it like with the top of their finger. It's actually so interesting. I don't know why it's taken me until now to actually realize that. A little laggy after the update, but we're still doing solid on WhoFishy setting. And if you didn't know, on the Scuff Impact, it actually has 4 paddles, but really not that many pro players that actually use the Impact use all 4 paddles. Like I said, Scoped only uses 1 and WhoFishy only uses 2. He was waiting for that piece control anyway, but I still caught him. And the paddles on this controller are definitely something that you have to get used to, but to actually get used to these 4 paddles, it literally took me at least a full week of playing consistently to get used to these things. Sense is definitely feeling really nice right now. Not really missing many of these shots. No, I swear he had to be lower than that. All right, well, I'll rate WhoFishy's settings like 8 out of 10. They were pretty solid, maybe a little bit faster what I typically use. So next we have Bully, and I guess in the next video I'm gonna have to get to this gyro option. But for his actual controller settings, he uses 2.3 build, 2.1 edit, and his look sense he's on 41% with no boost. On his ADS he's on 8% with no boost. No look damping time linear, and then for dead zones, for some reason these Scuff Impact players like to go a little bit lower. So Bully's gonna be on left stick 8 and right stick 7. So really all 3 of these players settings that I'm trying that use the Scuff Impact have actually really similar settings. But the one thing that I really wasn't able to find out is what features they actually have on their controller, because the Scuff Impact is pretty customizable. Every different feature adds more cost to the controller. So like my controller, I got like almost all the features I could on it, and it was $240. So one thing I would really want to know is if these players are using like these digital triggers or different height thumbsticks. The different height thumbsticks definitely help a lot. And he just fell to his death. And then Bully also actually only plays with 2 paddles, and he uses a left paddle jump, which I also use, but then on his right paddle he uses switch mode. Oh my god. I don't know why it was not on my shotgun. But when I was actually looking into Bully settings, I also watched a hand cam of him, and he actually edits in the same way WhoFishy does on touchpad, using like the top of his controller. He's gonna get this wall first try. This guy has great things. Unfortunate that he's bad. I would say that these settings feel pretty decent. Oh my god. My hands are shaking way too much right now. Not even messing up my aim. That's literally how good these settings are. I'm not sure if this guy's even trying anymore at this point. Oh, he left.